what are the different types of one Mukhi which are currently being sold in the market, as well as what they should be careful of.
70 to 75% of the fakes in the market, in the entire market of Rudraksh, are fake one Mukhis sold. And 200 साल पुराना है, नकली तो हो ही नहीं सकता. Wrong. One Mukhi of Nepal is being sold as a fake since thousands of years. With authority, I can say that one Mukhi of Nepal does not exist. One should never go after it. और उसमें वो बाबा बोलते हैं कि इसको रखना, दिवाली की दिवाली निकालना, किसी को दिखाना मत, अनर्थ हो जाएगा. They say that Indira Gandhi used to wear one Mukhi. They used to say that Guru Gobind Sahib Ji used to wear one Mukhi on his safa. They used to say that Nepal Naresh used to wear one Mukhi. They used to say Gulshan Kumar used to wear a one Mukhi. Now these are all stories which are not documented as such.
Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Mahadev. Welcome to our second episode of the podcast series of Rudralife. Today we are going to talk about one of the most sought after topics, one of the most talked about, one of the most interesting, one of the most curious. We are going to talk about, in depth, the one Mukhi Rudraksha. Today we have with us Dr. Tanay Seetha, who is going to address all the different questions, and truly this is an episode which we do not want to miss. If you are a Rudraksh enthusiast, you've ever worn a Rudraksh or have a desire to wear one, this episode is something which you should not miss. Let's begin.
Namaskar.
So Dr. Tanay Seetha, today we are covering the one Mukhi Rudraksha on our podcast. So the first question which I want to ask is that what do our Shastras say about the one Mukhi Rudraksha?
एकवक Shiva Sakshat, Mukti Mukti Falprada. Shastra says that one Mukhi is Sakshat Lord Shiva himself, and it gives the wearer both Mukti and Mukti, that means Bhog and Moksha. Now, one Mukhi has been highly praised in all our ancient scriptures, and it is sought after also by almost everyone. I think so. I feel you get all this kind of questions only. Ki, what about one Mukhi? We would like to go for a one Mukhi. After the myths and doubts on wearing of Rudraksha are cleared by people, the most sought after bead for them is one Mukhi. Everybody, भले वो बहुत बड़े नागा बाबा हो या साधु संत महात्मा हो, उन सबकी इच्छा शिव को प्राप्ति की होती ही होती है. और अगर नेचर में एक मुखी अगर मिल जाए तो उससे अच्छा आशीर्वाद भगवान आशुतोष शिवा का कहाँ मिल सकता है.
Correct. एक मुखी is a subject which actually is bigger than even Rudraksh, as a lot of people say. There are so many different kinds of stories we hear from our clients and our customers. People go for or want to find a one Mukhi Rudraksha of Nepal. Is the one Mukhi Rudraksha of Nepal a reality? Does it exist? What is the true story behind it?
Somali, many of my videos that I have posted right from 2001, 2004, and all throughout I have just mentioned only one thing, and that is one Mukhi of Nepal does not exist. It is a myth, and whoever is selling that it is of one Mukhi of Nepal is selling a fake. Since last 23 years, Rudralife is the largest buyer of Rudraksh of Nepal variety, and we have not come across the elusive, the so-called round one Mukhi of Nepal. There are people who sell different varieties in the name of a Nepali one Mukhi Rudraksha. So we have to dwell deeper into what all, first of all, varieties of one Mukhi, or maybe we can say something like a Upratna, something like an alternative. What are the alternatives to one Mukhi? Everybody's desire, because in history what has happened is that बहुत सारे जो successful people हैं, their success is said to be because of the one Mukhi that they wear. They say that Indira Gandhi used to wear one Mukhi. They used to say that Guru Gobind Sahib Ji used to wear one Mukhi on his safa. They used to say that Nepal Naresh used to wear one Mukhi. They used to say Gulshan Kumar used to wear a one Mukhi. Now these are all stories which are not documented as such. But still, success of many successful people is said to be because of the one Mukhi that they wear. That is one of the prime reason that the demand for one Mukhi is huge in the market. And you'll be so surprised that when a question of one Mukhi comes, also people feel that asli and nakli Rudraksh. So I would like to say that 70 to 75% of the fakes in the market, in the entire market of Rudraksh, are fake one Mukhis sold. Though that forms about 75% of the fake Rudrakshas in the market because the demand is very, very high. For example, we sell close to 114 Mukhi every day, if we see the statistics. Now, a 14 Mukhi costs around anything between 1 lakh to say 2 lakh rupees. Imagine if there would have been a one Mukhi round of Nepal or one Mukhi original of Nepal available. Definitely, number one, the price of it would be much, much higher than say a 14 Mukhi. And look at the quantity that we can sell from Rudralife because of the trust and faith that we have since last 23 years. So, with authority, I can say that one Mukhi of Nepal does not exist. One should never go after it. There are alternatives. For example, if a person cannot wear a diamond, so he can try with crystals or an American diamond. If a person cannot afford a very high quality, say for example, a yellow sapphire, he can go for Sunela, citrine. So there are alternatives available. In the variety of South India, the one Mukhi half moon shape is available. These you get about maybe around 20 to 25,000 pieces in a year. It is reasonably priced as well. And this is available. The only thing is this does not have a natural hole. So that is why you have to actually cap it like this. You cap the Rudraksh all around. Now this is an alternate. It's a substitute. You know Eliocarpus genitris is the Rudraksh of Nepal. Now this one is also Eliocarpus, but the subspecies is tuberculosis, which is found in south of India. Now this is a very good alternate, and we at Rudralife also endorse this since last 23 years because we are directly one-on-one with customers. We have seen good results also amongst people. The results are more for ekagrata and dhyan. So in all our spiritual combinations also, you will find that one Mukhi is always an integral part of it. The one Mukhi half moon shape variety. It is also known as Ardhachandrakar. Second one Mukhi which is available is the Indonesian one. Now Indonesian, this is a mala because as you know, we generally don't endorse Indonesian Mukhi wise. We do endorse the 5 Mukhi of Indonesia, which is generally used for japas or for wearing. Again, a combination of 108 beads. So this is a mala of one Mukhi of Indonesian origin. This is about the size of a rice grain or a wheat grain. It is small in size, but these are genuine one Mukhis, but of Indonesian origin. There was a time when they were very rare, about 5-7 years back. They used to sell at a very high price. These days they are available in plenty, and an entire mala can be used for wearing. This is all one Mukhi of Indonesian. The Nepal variety, if there would be a one Mukhi of Nepal, first of all, it will never be round. It can never be round. Because if you see that a 5 Mukhi, if we see closely a 5 Mukhi, this is very practical. The head of it, if we see the top of it, it is in a shape of penta. It's a 5 Mukhi, it will be in a shape of penta, the mouth of it. When we see a 4 Mukhi, if you see the structure is like a square. And the mouth also, if you see, you will find a square. In a 3 Mukhi, if you see a bead is more pyramidal in shape. It's more conical. Now, when you see the mouth of a 3 Mukhi, it also has a triangle.
Yes.
Similar goes with a 2 Mukhi. The 2 Mukhi, as you see what I'm wearing here in the wrist, is oblong shape.
Okay.
Right? So if it is 1 Mukhi, how can it be round? It would be exactly like the third eye of Lord Shiva.
It is so fascinating to see that you get one Mukhis from Indonesia, you get one Mukhi from south of India, but one Mukhi from Nepal is absolute rarity, or maybe it does not exist as per your...
It doesn't exist. Somewhere since 23 years, I have done a lot of experiments. There do come some kind of little different varieties also in nature. Many people feel that that is the original one Mukhi. I do buy them, I do test them, but I have not seen the spark as yet. I do have in my collection a lot of varieties which, I have collected over the years, and there are many, but the elusive one Mukhi, the power of one Mukhi, एकवक Shiva Sakshat, I have not yet seen, which I can endorse comfortably and with great conviction that it is the one Mukhi of Nepal. Of course, if we see technically, a one Mukhi should have, as a two Mukhi, has a natural hole and two compartments. Three Mukhi has three compartments. Four has four. So this phenomena definitely will follow for a one Mukhi. It will have a natural hole and it will have one compartment. Now, there are various fakes in the market, and through this podcast, let's delve into the world of fake one Mukhis that are there in the market.
That sounds really, really insightful. For people to actually know what kind of a one Mukhi they do have, I'm sure this may give them an idea about the kind of Rudraksh bead they may have. So definitely, we would love to know, audience would love to know what are the different types of one Mukhi which are currently being sold in the market, as well as what they should be careful of before buying as well.
I feel if we show them what the fakes are there in the market, maybe if they stay away from that,
definitely it'll be helpful.
Yeah, and they don't get into those gullible stories, etc., that would be really good for the people. My problem, Somil, always have been that when people buy a Rudraksh, and if they buy it with faith, you see, I know so many people who then go to various Jyotirlings, get an Abhishek done, they wear it with a lot of faith. The money spent on that process is far, far much more. And later on when they come to know that what they have is a fake, it really hurts them. It hurts me too. And naturally, it hurts me too. But then my belief and faith is on genuine Rudrakshas of Lord Shiva. So I have to say what is right and what is wrong. When we dwell into this subject, I will also tell you certain stories, what I have learned in the process. As you know, we do directly one-on-one with customers. So they open up, they tell us a lot of interesting stories also. So the first category we will talk about is most easiest type of one Mukhi sold in the market at a very, very low price. 25 rupees, 50 rupees, 10 rupees. Now, there are stories about कि मैंने इसके लिए कुछ नहीं दिया. एक बाबा मिले थे, उन्होंने कहा ले बच्चा है मेरे स्वप्न में आया, ये मैं तेरे को दे रहा हूँ, मुझे इसके लिए कुछ नहीं चाहिए. आप फिर भी उसको 101 रुपए दे देते हो, 501 रुपए दे देते हो, आपको तो लगा आपने कुछ नहीं दिया. Now a 10, 15 rupees, 7 rupee bead, he has sold it for you, he has taken a good price. खाना भी आप खिला देते हो, फिर कहता है मुझे अखंड जोत जलानी है, तो उसके लिए मुझे बस 5 लीटर घी दे दो. आप दे नहीं पाते, यू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू मनी. और आप लेकर क्या जाते हो? Number 1, you take a fake bead. Number 2, you take a story behind.
सही.
एकदम से फिर मैंने पलट के देखा और वो बाबा गायब था. You know, this happens. Particularly this happens in Temple Town, etc. उधर जो, if you see the tribals, the people on the roadside, they will sell all type of Rudrakshas, saying that it is one Mukhi. You have Om, Trishul, Shivling carved on that. You have Dantal also. They will stick it with glue. They will stick a Dantal and they will say ki, and they are all casting pieces. Like for example, look at this. This one, they say from behind is the one Mukhi. And this is nothing but M-seal. They have made it out of
This is a
casting
mold.
product, mold.
Okay.
And they have the sarp here, 2 sarp. They have a shivling here. They have Om carved over here. They have a trishul here. Now, most common ones are like this. This is, again, they say that this is the one Mukhi on behind. And then they say that this is a shivling and there is a sarp on top of it. If you take it off, it is nothing but a khachka karke. They have taken just a faak of another Rudraksh and they have implanted it on that. So these type of fakes, please be...
With one line behind and a...
Yes. These are what are sold with Om, Trishul, Shivling and everything. And Somil, this is not only on the roadside, etc., I have seen these such kind of beads even at extremely rich houses. और उसमें वो बाबा बोलते हैं कि इसको रखना, दिवाली की दिवाली निकालना, किसी को दिखाना मत, अनर्थ हो जाएगा. Some people are gullible. फिर बाबा की वेशभूषा ऐसी रहती है, and you know the tricks are always there. One has to be very careful. Rudraksh is properly cultivated. In Nepal, there are regions, and not a single bead can go unnoticed. It will always, and Om Trishul Shivling wali carving kabhi nahi hoti. Now, once this particular low-level segment, many people got aware of it, and if you really ask that person, the tribal who's sitting over there at the temple towns, etc., he will also say, हाँ ये carving किया हुआ है, show piece के लिए आप रख सकते हो. Then came a story of round one mukhi. So what people started doing is this kind of variety. Again round, again this is a one mukhi, and Om, Trishul, Shivling carved on the surface itself.
Things on the surface of the bead.
Yes.
This is made with a certain material.
Any material.
Got it.
And they will just, again, putty on top for using it for carving, etc. MCL on top. Can be any berry or even supari ka, छोटे supari के दाने के ऊपर वो पुट्टी लगा के they can do the carvings. Look at all.
So this will melt in water.
Yes, of course.
Start melting
Yes,
in
yes,
water.
yes, yes. But then there are some varieties which are very hard, very strong. They don't use putty, but they scrap it up.
Got it.
And then they carve it on any, you can take it on any berry and you can carve a particular structure. Many a times in exhibitions, such type of beads, people come, they cap it in gold, etc. And then they say कि ये तो 200 साल पुराना है.
So much devotion, so much history.
Yes. And 200 साल पुराना है, नकली तो हो ही नहीं सकता. Wrong. One mukhi of Nepal is being sold as a fake since thousands of years.
Oh my God, thousands of years.
Yes, because it is so revered.
Wow.
So they cap it and they say, ये तो नकली हो ही नहीं सकता. And many a times, unfortunately, we have had arguments also. Then similar one mukhi मैं उनको निकाल के देता हूँ, मैं कहता हूँ ये आप free एक और ले जाओ. Then they understand, कि yes, they get that. But I have seen many like this. इसके बाद the thing that comes is and sold very widely in Haridwar and Rishikesh. These beads are original two-mukhi of Haridwar variety. Again, it is Heliocarpus hiatus. It is not of Nepal variety. But what they do is they close one line and then they show only one line like this. These also are plenty found, and these are sold properly in shops in Haridwar, Rishikesh. When a customer goes, he says ki one mukhi hai kya? First question. So he says एक ही piece है, and they have
the exclusivity.
Yeah, एक ही piece है और वो एक डब्बी में सिंदूर लगा
अंदर
के
जाके they show it that this is.
Yes, and then they will take it off. And can you imagine, they just ask 1100 रुपए, 2100 रुपए. Depending on the customer, they place the price. 5100, sometimes 11,000. Some foreigners 51,000. And this is nothing but a bead which is sold about maybe 40 rupees or 50 rupees a kilo. That means each bead would not be more than 2 rupees maximum. And they just open it, they showcase it so well, and this is sold regularly in Haridwar and Rishikesh and these places, Varanasi and all. So we have to be careful. First of all, this is not of Nepal origin, but it is from two-mukhi of Haridwar variety, so which is more easily moldable and can be changed.
Easy to convert to a one mukhi.
Easy to convert to a one-mukhi.
So now I can actually think from a manufacturer's perspective, from availability of what can actually go off as a one mukhi, and the people will not come to know.
You know what? Cops have to be one step ahead of the thieves. And thieves will always try to innovate themselves and upgrade themselves. So that is the whole story on one mukhi. So जब ये reject हो गए, then these round ones carving rejected.
Yeah.
People have gotten aware of it. And not only we at Rudralife, but many other people also they promote this क्योंकि awareness बढ़ रही है. You might have seen a lot of videos also
Correct.
On this topic. Then this variety Haridwar also gone.
Yeah.
It's used very, very less. Now what do?
New innovation.
New innovation, and that is they take a Phai Mukhi, original Phai Mukhi of Nepal. They scrap with sandpaper. They scrap 4 lines and let 1 line remain. Now it's an original.
So it becomes a round one mukhi
It's a round 1 Mukhi.
with only 1 line visible.
Yes, and the bead is of Nepal because it is Phai Mukhi of Nepal. You scrap 4 lines, or you take a 3 Mukhi, scrap 2 lines, take a 4 Mukhi, scrap 4 lines. Example, this is a 4 Mukhi. As I said, if you see, just see the top. It is a square. It's a 4 Mukhi. Now, if you see on the surface, there is no line but one. Only 1 line is visible. Now, how do they do it? Even naturally. Now, this is not, they have not scrubbed the line. This is again one step ahead. What they do is, when the bead is on the tree itself, as you grow a bonsai, when you grow a bonsai, you tie down the tree to the ground and you stunt its growth. Similarly, at the fruit stage, they tie it up with a thread so that natural muks, they don't form.
So from external pressure.
From external pressure, the muks will not form. Now, they'll pluck, or they'll do this exercise, say maybe in a tree, in say maybe 20 pieces or 40 pieces. When it comes out, they will see out of those 40 pieces, maybe their experiment is successful in 7-8 pieces. So, and if there is 1 line which is almost formed, they will just open it up and make it as a natural line. In the market, to wholesalers, they sell these kind of beads for 1,000 rupees or so, and you'll be surprised. It is sold after doing proper capping, etc. Because they cannot hide the mukhis where they originate from, at least from the stem or the tail, mouth and tail of Rudraksha. They can just do it from the outside surface. So what the end supplier does is, he will cap it up from here and here, something like this. He will cap it up like this to hide the origin.
Sell it with the cap.
And sell it with the cap. There are people who have sold it for as high as 30 lakh rupees.
Because the capping, the person will not bother to check.
And they have capped it in gold and silver or little bit diamonds, etc. Maybe they have invested about 30-40,000 on the encasing. And the bead was for 1,000 rupees. But if you see this bead very, very clearly, there is no tampering done on this bead at all. This is original Nepal bead. But then only 1 line is visible. But when you do an X-ray, this is a 4 Mukhi Rudraksha. It's a 4 Mukhi converted into a 1 Mukhi. There are all these beads are similar. This is a penta, it's a 5 Mukhi. If you see, there is no line. This has been stunted. The growth has been stunted. And you'll find some which have 2 lines coming out. You'll have some which has only 1 line coming out. So those 1 line ones, they sell for 1,000, 2,000, whatever, whoever the customer wants to buy at. So 1 Mukhi, first of all, if it is of Nepal, it cannot be round. Impossible, practically. Secondly, it does not exist. Please don't go after it. The day 1 Mukhi original of Nepal will come, Sawmill, we have enough customers. We don't need to put it on display. We don't need to broadcast it. It will already go. It can never be sold in the open market. First of all, 23 years service towards Lord Shiva, and you all also have joined in. Why would we give 1 Mukhi? Why would we part with Shiva? If it comes, it will definitely come to us. 85% of Nepal production we are buying since 18 years. And why wouldn't it come to us first? And if it comes, why will we sell it?
Since I have been a part of Rudralife, the initiative we take has always been to heal people and empower them. And if there is a 1 Mukhi Rudraksha which is available, which does come from Nepal, I don't see why Rudralife will not want its power to reach its customers. So a very insightful understanding of different types of 1 Mukhi we have got. I can see some big Rudraksh beads also here. These big size ones.
Yes. Now, again, these are also different one mukhis. This is a ball of cork, and only one line is visible. This entirely is made, but this process is done in south of India. And there are bigger balls also, this size balls. And in that also, there are many people who make a Shivlingam in that, a Sarp in that. This all we have to stay away. There are no Rudrakshas of this size. And these are, you can see these are all cork balls. They just give them a rough texture in order to look as if it has a Rudraksh structure. They just open up one line, not even open up, they just carve one line on top and they say that this is the one mukhi. This generally happens in south of India. Even if you see Indonesian, people also take Indonesian beads. Again, very easy, by sandpaper, they will rub 4 lines and only keep one line on top and they will sell it. There are people who have sold saying that, and very high profile people, that I have a mala which was worn by XYZ, some prominent personality, and they want to dispose it off, and if they can get a better price. So, and I know many people who have bought also one mukhi 108 beads, again simple Indonesian beads, the mala which is for 900 rupees. Little bit of exercise, just by using sandpaper, you remove 4 lines and it is sold as one mukhi full entire 108 bead mala. This mala is available for purchase at around 1200 rupees just for the processing cost, and it is available, and people take that and sell it for say 50,000, lakh or 2 lakh. So one mukhi, again, as I said, we should not go after it at all. Experiments, definitely.
Extremely interesting. Rudralife endorses the one Mukhi Rudraksh of south of India, which is the half moon shape. Can there be any fakes also made in the half moon variety?
What had happened, Sawmill, around 15 years back, when teleshopping was at its boom, at its peak. Now, one Mukhi Rudralife was already endorsing as the half moon shape variety as a Upratna, as I said, as an alternate, as a substitute to the one Mukhi of Nepal. Now, in teleshopping, the general rule is that only those products can sell which can be sold at 10x the price. Now, one Mukhi half moon shape variety, as I said, you get about 20-25,000 pieces in a year. But teleshopping went to the level of selling about close to 1,000 pieces a day. Now, what did they? Of course, the price of the original half moon shape kept on increasing initially, because they were dealing with genuine half moon shape before. Then what happened is casting products came into the market.
Fakes started coming in.
Fakes started coming in. Because, and I'll show you like this. This looks absolutely genuine, but this is a casting piece. First, they started with the same M-seal variety. Now, what happened? A lot of cases were filed when they took a dip in the holy Ganges by wearing that, and it melted out and it got fizzled away, and they were left with only a cage. Many cases happened because definitely those people, they came to us also कि sir ये क्या है? We identified it. Then they started using plastic and they started making casting product. The cost of this was about 3 rupees 50 paisa each.
My God.
And then they sold it for 1100 rupees. This is still being sold. It's still being sold because a half moon shape variety original, if you see this piece, this is a cut section. So it has a cavity inside where you had the seed in this cavity. Now, when you cut open a casting product, you see it looks like a Duco, it's a plastic.
It cannot have a cavity.
Yeah, it doesn't have a cavity. And you can see it is absolutely
Filled up.
man-made, filled
Yeah.
up. It's a casting product.
Yes.
So one has to be extremely careful on these. Now, this is the one which, if you put it in warm water, this will melt.
Melt away.
So in half moon shape variety also, because again 3 rupees 50 paisa bead, you are selling it for 1100 rupees. The original cost of an original one is around 5000 to 8000. That is the price as on date. So still there is a margin for fake people. So you have to be very, very careful on this bead also now, because this is more prevalent in the market. Everybody knows ek mukhi kaju dana is a good alternate to one mukhi. So then they started, because the demand increased, they started doing fakes there also.
Extremely enlightening. I have also seen certain places where a round, a moon shape, a very slim moon shape bead being sold as a one mukhi, which represents like a half moon. What is this?
There is a bead known as Sawar, Sawar Rudraksha. Now, Sawar Rudraksha is a Nepali variety wherein it is in a shape of a Garbhagori. One lobe is smaller than the other, but the uniqueness is in that one lobe you have only one mukhi. So what people are doing these days is they are breaking it. They are rubbing the portion which they broke, and now because it is a bead of Nepal variety, and they sell that as one mukhi. This is a recent phenomena. People sell it for 20,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, 5 lakh. There are many websites also selling it. It is something like a massa. It's an outgrowth. But yes, again, technically, if it has a natural hole and one compartment, it may technically qualify as a one mukhi. But there is a method which we have detected that we can identify whether it is from a broken Sawar. And all such pieces which are there on the website selling as one mukhi, there is a bead which was certified from a lab as a one mukhi of Nepal, and it was a broken Sawar. And you know what price they are selling it at? They are selling it at 1 crore. They are asking for 1 CR. And there are people who have even offered till 25 lakhs and 51 lakhs. It's, again, I'm telling you, one mukhi Nepal doesn't exist. One should not go after it.
I mean, it's just so astonishing that a broken piece of a bead which actually resembles a Nepal variety can so easily qualify in the eyes of a normal person to be a one mukhi, and it has a hole. It has a hole and it has a compartment, but still, is it a genuine one mukhi?
You see, the thing is, these days, because of advent of social media and all, people write many things about themselves. I would thus urge everybody to come and visit our offices in Mumbai, see what kind of dedication, how we work. When I get a chance to procure, say, a rare 21 mukhi or a 18 mukhi, I see it as if I'm extremely suspicious. ना मेरे में भक्ति आती है उस समय, ना भाव आता है. पहले मेरे में आता है एक critical angle कि नहीं, ये नकली है. When it passes through all the tests. Now, for example, I'll give you one very interesting thing. We were the ones who introduced X-ray testing on this planet. People never knew how to test scientifically a genuine Rudraksha. So definitely copies came in. All the lab, etc. that you see certificates are all copies of whatever information we have put out on the public domain. Now, if I tell you that there are 2-3 tests more that we do in our laboratory, which we have not publicized as yet. It is internal.
Okay.
And you know about them. You have seen in the lab what kind of conductivity test we do, what kind of specific gravity test we do. How do we enhance or search for a quality of Rudraksha which is effective. Now, if we again open it out, or energizing that we do on the Rudraksha when we buy, if I open it out today, then people will start copying and doing it the same. There is also a belief, people say that Rudralife से हम एक 5 मुखी भी लेते हैं तो ज़्यादा अच्छा effect होता है rather than a 12 मुखी which we buy from somebody else. It is all blessings of Lord Shiva and nothing else. So while buying, I am very suspicious, very critical. Once it has passed through all the tests and I know for sure that it is a very, very effective bead. Only then my bhakti comes into the picture. So I have to be critical, because at the position at which we are, we have to be very, very stringent. And as I said, cops and thieves, we have to be one step ahead of the thieves.
So there is a much deeper story yet to unravel, which we can definitely will be covering a little bit on the surface, maybe in depth in our next episodes as well. Going a little ahead into the topic. One Mukhi, if somebody wants to experience just the energies of what the one Mukhi can bring in this lifetime, how do they go about experiencing a one Mukhi energy?
Again, I come to the main shloka, एकवक शिव साक्षात. Now, वैसे तो all Rudrakshas are of Shiva. They are from the tears of the benevolent Lord. But in the Shastras, the Rudrakshas that have been given the upadhi of Lord Shiva himself are, number one, of course, this is a substitute, is an alternate from south of India, the half moon shape variety. In Nepali beads, a 15-mukhi Rudraksh is known as Lord Pashupatinath himself. So, 15-mukhi, by wearing a 15-mukhi, devotion to Lord Shiva increases. This I have seen practically. 15-mukhi of Lord Pashupatinath, I feel one of a very, very good alternative to one Mukhi round of Nepal, one Mukhi of Nepal. I would not say round, because as I said, one Mukhi of Nepal has to be like the third eye of Lord Shiva. The second alternative, and I've seen good results, although that Rudraksh is found very in less numbers, is the Sawar Rudraksh. The Sawar, again, because it has the one lobe, has only one Mukhi on top, so it is Gauri Ganesh with Shiv ki Kripa. So a Sawar is also a very good alternate to the one Mukhi of Nepal. People can use those beads and experience the benevolence of one Mukhi. Actually, as they say that Bhukti Mukti Falprada means Bhog or Moksh dono ka karak hai. One Mukhi is ideal for doctors because doctors are not attached to the patient. They are more to eradicate the disease. So that is why a person who remains in the worldly life but remains a bit detached is the properties that you need to feel, which a one Mukhi of Nepal would do. So even being in day-to-day life, a person can be spiritual. Even being as a grahast, a person can attain high level of spirituality. That is what the one Mukhi would do. So 15 Mukhi, Sawar, these are very, very good alternates for one Mukhi. And of course, the half moon shape also, because again, as I said, our spiritual combinations all have the one Mukhi half moon shape in it.
We have seen your devotion towards Rudraksh. We have seen the depth of research and insights and the subject knowledge which we have. If the world has such a strong desire to wear a one Mukhi, you may have also had a desire to experience a one Mukhi Rudraksh. Can you share some insights on your experience and maybe your journey towards getting one?
Yes, I have invested a lot. Trust me, I feel my desire to possess a one Mukhi is, I think so, maximum. And I have been in search of it since last 25 years. And I do experiments on various varieties which come, because in nature, yes, various varieties they come in. There was one book authored by a Maharashtrian writer, a saint. It was given to me by a friend of mine. In that, it is written that if there would be a one Mukhi, it would be in the shape of a fish. So, I've done experiments in beads like these. I found in growing in Bangalore, Cochin areas, I could get it. We even took those. About 20 trees were there, and they were original of Nepal origin, and we used to take all its produce for about 3-4 years, and we searched a lot, and we could find 2-3 pieces. Again, I experimented, but wo ek feeling nahi aayi. Then I even purchased about 2 years back from a 2-mukhi Nepal, and there was a one Mukhi, but in the shape of a two Mukhi. Inside, when I saw, it was only one compartment and one seat. So I keep experimenting with something found in nature which is different. Fortunately for me, because being one of the largest buyers of Rudraksh, I have access to the rare varieties also which come in. There are certain beads which are, the fruit itself somehow becomes like the seed. Something like, what do you call, fossil.
Great.
If you see a tree fossil, or it gets stonified. So there are certain beads which have on top of it a structure, apart from the Rudraksh on top, and no Mukhi is visible. So I do some experiments on that. I buy those beads and I do certain experiments, certain sadhanas. I even have access to certain people who can feel good energies, etc. But then still, my journey continues. I'm still in search of for the one Mukhi of Nepal, which, at least to the masses, I would like to say, please don't go for it. If it would exist, the price would be unimaginable. It is priceless.
Wow. I think with this much depth and this much of real life examples, we have never covered one Mukhi in this manner. And I'm sure this must be a very, very interesting experience for all of our viewers here as well. Dear friends, the subject of the one Mukhi Rudraksh has fascinated mankind and continues to fascinate us even today. Let us know in the comment section if you learned something valuable today from our episode, and also share your feedback on what topics we should cover next. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadev.